What's up, everybody? This is JT Sports and Match you guys with another video. And this video, I'm here with my Joe Burrow 2020 NFL Draft profile. I'm going to be giving my scouting report on Joe Burrow, what he does best, what he doesn't do best. Also, the best team fits that will fit Joe Burrow and his playing style. And if you guys have some more players that you guys want me to do, make sure you comment those players down in the comment section down below. I'm trying to get to as many as these prospects as possible before the NFL draft begins. So if you guys have any players that you guys want me to do, make sure you comment those down in the comment section down below. Also, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel because I upload XFL videos, NFL videos, and college football videos daily. So this video, we have Joe Burrow. Now, Joe Burrow was the Heisman Trophy winner from this past college football season. He also led LSU to the national championship game, which they defeated Clemson. And in my opinion, Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in this draft class. And when you look at Joe Burrow, has pretty good measurables. He's 6'4", 216 pounds. So, I mean, Joe Burrow, in my opinion, is the best quarterback in this draft class. And when we look at what Joe Burrow does best, I mean, Joe Burrow, the pros, he has elite accuracy. I mean, this guy, Joe Burrow, has pinpoint accuracy. He doesn't miss. If it's a wide open wide receiver, most of the time, he's not going to miss him. He also has the ability to throw wide receivers open. Now, a lot of you guys might wonder, what does that mean when people say a quarterback has the ability to throw guys open? And what guys mean when they say that is that they're able to find the holes or the windows inside man-to-man coverage or zone coverage, and they're able to throw the wide receivers into those holes, into those spots, and put the wide receiver in the best place to catch the football. That's what people mean when they mean throwing wide receivers open. It's like, say, for example, defense is running cover 2, right? And let's say there's a hole in the middle of the cover 2, right? So it could be a wide receiver running down in the middle of that cover 2, and let's say Joe Burrow throws the football in the middle of that cover 2, and the wide receiver has to adjust to it. He has to run towards the ball. That's what my definition is when it comes to a quarterback who's able to throw wide receivers open. So that's what Joe Burrow does best. I mean, he has good timing, good anticipation on his throws, elite accuracy, can throw wide receivers open. Another thing that Joe Burrow has, he has a high football IQ, and that's no surprise considering the fact that his dad is a football head coach or a former football coach, or has some ties to a coaching staff as well. I believe he was on the Ohio coaching staff, not Ohio State's coaching staff, but the University of Ohio's coaching staff. And you can kind of see that IQ trickle down to Joe Burrow. He's really good and reading coverages, finding the windows and those spaces in those coverages and things like that. And it's really refreshing to see a quarterback who is being regarded for having a high football IQ and not having all these big measurables, being 6'5" with a strong arm and things like that. And a lot over the past couple of years in the NFL draft, we've seen quarterbacks who don't really have high football IQs, who aren't really that good at reading coverages, get taken top 10 and top 5 and things like that. So it's really refreshing that people are really looking at how good of an IQ that Joe Burrow has, because that's something that's really going to help Joe Burrow out, and that's a big reason why Joe Burrow is able to start day one, rather that's the Cincinnati Bengals or anybody else, if the Cincinnati Bengals do choose to surprisingly draft somebody else other than Joe Burrow, which I don't believe will happen. But I mean, it's really good that Joe Burrow has a high football IQ, because a lot of rookies struggle with reading coverages in their first year. And a lot of rookies really struggle adjusting to the speed of the game. So with Joe Burrow having a high football IQ, that's something that's going to benefit him when it comes for him to start for whoever he ends up getting drafted to, the Bengals most likely. And another thing that Joe Burrow has, he has good footwork. Also, he has good mobility inside the pocket. I mean, Joe Burrow doesn't have crazy athleticism, but he has enough athleticism that you have to account for it. So if it's an open running lane, Joe Burrow is going to be able to take that running lane, and maybe he picks up a couple of yards, maybe he picks up a first down. So, I mean, his mobility is good enough that he's not going to burn anybody like Lamar Jackson, have a 60-yard touchdown, anything like that. But it's good enough that if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you have to take that into account. He also has good footwork inside the pocket. He's also a good leader, and he's also great under pressure. I mean, he's poised. He never gets rattled. A good example of this is go back to that UCF game a season ago when he took that big hit and ended up coming back from that hit and leading LSU to a dominant victory over UCF, and which I believe was the Fiesta Bowl. So I mean, Joe Burrow, it seems like the pressure of the game is never too big for him, and I mean, he's a great leader. His teammates love playing for him. They love his mentality to a game. He kind of has an Aaron Rodgers moxie to him, like a little bit very confident. Some people say he's overconfident, but you like that in the quarterback. You don't like a quarterback who isn't really confident in their abilities or like that. I like my quarterbacks cocky. I like my quarterbacks really confident and things like that. And that's what Joe Burrow brings to the table as a NFL quarterback. And the cons, only one knock on Joe Burrow, and that's his arm strength. And even then, I still think that Joe Burrow has a good enough arm that he can make all of the throws in the NFL. Now, he doesn't have a big arm like a guy, say like a Josh Allen, or if we need to find a quarterback prospect, a guy like a Jacob Eason, but he has a good enough arm that he can end up and make all of the throws on the NFL level. So looking at the best team fits for Joe Burrow, obviously we have the Cincinnati Bengals, who have the #1 overall pick, who are probably going to end up selecting Joe Burrow. Then you also have the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are a team that's been trying to, it's been reports coming out there that say that they really want Joe Burrow, but since he's most likely not going to be available, they're probably going to end up settling for a Tua Tagovailoa. You also have the Carolina Panthers, who at one point it was rumored that they were going to trade Cam Newton in a trade package for the #1 overall pick so they can select Joe Burrow. So I mean, it's a lot of good fits for Joe Burrow. He's also very good if he somehow finds a way to find his way on the Indianapolis Colts. I think the Indianapolis Colts would be a perfect fit for Joe Burrow because of the scheme that they run, their philosophy. They also have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. They have a pretty good wide receiving core. You got T.Y. Hilton. You have a good organization, a good coaching staff. So, I mean, going to the Colts gives him the best chance to succeed. You also have the L.A. Chargers, who would probably love to get their hands on Joe Burrow as well. You also got the New England Patriots, the New Orleans Saints. Now, if the New England Patriots get their hands on Joe Burrow, I mean, they probably would be happy-go-lucky, man. But we know that, I'm not saying none of these teams are going to get them, because we know Cincinnati Bengals are most likely going to draft them with the #1 overall pick. But I'm just looking at the best team fits for Joe Burrow, the teams that Joe Burrow would best be suited for given his skill sets. Now, I mean, the Patriots, given the way they run their system, they don't really try to throw the ball deep and things like that. They take what the defense gives them, and I mean, they don't try to force the ball and things like that. And also the New Orleans Saints, if Drew Brees does decide to retire and the New Orleans Saints don't feel like Mason Hill is the franchise quarterback, those will also be some good fits for Joe Burrow. So overall, I think Joe Burrow is the best quarterback prospect in this draft class. So let me know what you guys think about Joe Burrow down in the comment section down below. Also, comment some more players that you guys want me to do, and make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content, and thanks for watching.